hold these awards, and today's the day where you get to enjoy yourselves and relax. Of course, we've got the presentations coming up from 3 o'clock this afternoon, but for the next little while, we're really excited and a great opportunity for all of you here in the room to be and to hear from a couple of ex-F1 in schools individuals who've gone on to forge amazing careers, and we're going to chat to them a little bit as well. But we've got some great industry people here who are going to speak to you. They've got some short presentations that I know you're going to find absolutely fascinating and have plenty to take away as well. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our first guest speaker. He is the Senior Program Manager for Textron's Systems, and we're very pleased to have him here. Please welcome Cameron de Vries.
Thanks very much. So just a quick acknowledgement of country before we start. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. Pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging, and to anyone of Torres Strait Islander or Aboriginal descent here today. I extend my respect to you as well. Sorry about this. There we go. So, how did my background in STEM lead me to where I am today? So, of all the folks in the audience here, first of all, congratulations on getting to where you are today. Absolutely phenomenal achievement to get to where you are. I'm sure it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. I'm sure it's been an absolutely phenomenal ride. But I've got a question. Who's ever made a paper plane and been disappointed that it didn't fly further than it should have? Yeah, it's always a little bit disappointing, isn't it? Bit more of a question. Who's ever been to the airport and watched a 747 or an A380 sort of like heave itself off the runway and like really struggle to get into the air and go, how did we beat physics? How does that happen? Who's ever had that experience? Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it? It's those sort of questions that I asked myself back in high school that led me to where I am today, that got me interested in STEM. Taking part in projects like this, 20 years ago, I've just dated myself, 20 years ago going through school, I never had the experience to participate in a program like this. But when I got into university, when we had the Formula SAE, it was this program, but on steroids, actually building a car that folks drive in. It was applied applications like that sort of really got me engaged in industry. I did an aerospace engineering degree at Monash Uni, since done an MBA at University of Maryland, spent 16 years working in aerospace, working as an aircraft designer for Aerosonde, then Textron Systems as it became. And just in the last couple of years, I've moved over to the dark side of program management, which sounds scary, but as folks that are interested in STEM, there's two things you guys are going to be really, really good at when you move into industry. You're going to be really good at solving technical problems. The other thing you're going to be really good at is problem solving. Because if you have a background in engineering and a background in STEM, by definition, you take these big, huge, insurmountable problems. Let's take physics and break it. Let's take physics and beat it, right? That's no small feat. It's a huge problem that has to be broken down into small parts, solve them, work out how to solve it as a team, right? That's something that people that are strong in STEM are really good at, and that's what makes a lot of us go into program management, because that's all it is, just that in an applied scale. So that's how I got to where I am today. And what I'd like to do is just give you a couple of examples of how that starting interest in STEM led me to do some really cool things, and how these are opportunities that you can have as well as you move through. So my background in STEM got me into aerospace engineering, led me to a really cool company and a really cool career doing this. This is the Aerosonde uncrewed aircraft system. Catapult launched, net recovered. I consider myself extremely lucky to have led the team through its entire development life cycle, which is very much exactly the same as what you guys have just done on the program. You get handed a set of requirements, you've got to do some design, you've got to balance cost, schedule, expectations of both your internal and your external customers, prototype, test, not quite transition to production and deployment just yet. Maybe for some of the team, maybe some teams there is some opportunity there, but sort of going through that whole life cycle. I can see myself extremely lucky to have been able to do that on the aircraft side. Kind of cool that to do this over the last 20 years, where 20 years ago, unmanned aircraft systems, or uncrewed aircraft systems, were kind of a novelty. It was the cutting edge of industry. It was, wow, we don't really know how to do this yet. And sort of to ride that wave for the last 20 years, where now all of defence, all of scientific, all of industry is like, wow, how can we do this with drones? How can we film videos with drones? How can we make movies? How can we inspect power lines? How can we go spy on people in places hot and sandy with these things? So standing up the new product line offered a number of really cool blank canvas opportunities, both the design of the aircraft. We had this high-level requirement set that the customers came to us with, and we got given a blank canvas. And we got to we formed a design team, much like you guys just have, under enormous cost, schedule, technical parameter pressure, and we delivered a product that's now flown over 500,000 flight hours downrange. But one of the things I'm really, really proud of isn't just designing the aircraft, because nowadays, making an aircraft fly, nose forward, sky up, wings level, it's challenging, but it's becoming a lot more common to do, and particularly the computing tools and the analysis tools we've got available to us today, it's not as challenging or time-consuming as it once was. What was really cool was making an aeroplane that's quite happy taking off and landing as normal, now take off and land like a helicopter. So it launches vertically, transitions to forward flight, goes around, carries on a mission as per normal, comes back, hovers, and lands. This really required pushing physics and pushing battery technology and motor technology to the bleeding edge of what it could do. And it was challenging. But much like, as I'm sure all of you have found on this program, the technical bit was probably actually the easy bit. The hardest bit was, well, it's not just about meeting the technical requirements, it's how do I balance schedule and budget against those technical requirements. And lesson learned from me from industry is you really only ever get to pick two. It's like, I can do it fast, I can do it good, or I can do it cheap. It's really, really hard to do both. And as you can see by my little graphic there with the unicorn, if you ever find a project, bit of advice, if you ever find a project where you get to do something good and fast and cheap all at once, like a unicorn, grab it, hold on to it, don't ever let it go, because you're unlikely to ever see that again. But in much the same way as you guys have done with this program, we've had to balance all three. And what I'm most proud of with this particular product is that there was unbelievable pressure on all three. So I had to ask myself, well, which one do I consciously let give? Which one do I consciously let give? And what it took is taking a step back and thinking, well, what does the external customer want? I know my internal customer management wants all three. They want the unicorn. They want it every single time. But what one do I consciously relax the requirements on? And looking at what my external customer wanted, they have a hard deadline. They've got to get this product deployed. That date is immovable. Right. Can't compromise on schedule. They have a minimum viable product requirement set. Again, it's the same as any design problem, right? Minimum viable product requirement set. That's immovable. So the only one that can give is cost. Now, I'm not saying we deliberately went overboard on budget. I'm not saying that it went horribly more expensive than it should have been, but something had to give. I spent my way out of the problem. This is something that sort of, as you go through the remainder of the program, or as you look back on what you've just done with the project, really think about this, because there's people that have enormous potential out in industry in STEM. You're going to have to come across this, and you're going to have to face this in most of the projects that you've done. And for a lot of folks that just want to do the maths and the physics and the science, and I want to solve technical problems, this is something that you're going to have to look at and consider. In fact, this is almost harder and less natural for folks that are good in STEM to think about, because we're all about the bottom left-hand corner. We're all about, let's get the TPMs, the technical performance measures down pat. But in reality, the budget and the schedule is just as important, and it can be just as hard. So well done on when you've got to today. Just some comments and insights from someone that's done this for 20 years, come through high school, gone through university, gone into industry. Just thought I'd share a couple of thoughts. Congratulations on where you've got to. All the best with your presentations. final bit of advice which I gave to one of the teams earlier on. Remember when you get up, if you're worried or nervous about giving a presentation, remember that the reason why you're being asked to give a presentation is because you are the subject matter experts. You are the subject matter experts. So when you get up and give the presentation, don't ever forget that. Have confidence in what you're saying, and best of luck.
Thanks very much, Cameron. Thanks for making your time available today to be with our students and our teachers as well. It was fantastic, so thank you. Right now, though, we're going to move on and introduce someone who's also been very good with their time to come along today to make a short presentation to you all. He is from the Defence Science and Technology Group. And please make him welcome Professor Jonathan Binns.
Thanks, Cameron, and great talk there from Chris? Cameron, sorry. My name's Jonathan Binns. I'm a research engineer at the Defence Science and Technology Group, and I'm here with my colleague Mark, and certainly very happy to talk to you about potential opportunities there for engineers in the future. And what I did want to do is spend a bit of time right now talking to you about the path, I suppose, I've been on, and where I ended up with engineering and where I am now, and how those sorts of skills that you've developed that Cameron was talking about are immediately applicable. What I've got up there is a whole range of photos related to my past, my present, and perhaps my future as well. So the top left-hand side, you can see a fairly fast boat. It's called a 12-foot skiff, and that's how I grew up in Sydney, sailing vessels like that. And that got me into engineering, essentially. And so I did actually go off and do a Bachelor of Engineering at the University of New South Wales, mainly because I wanted to actually understand the vessels that I was sailing in those heady days of sailing around Sydney and Gosford and so on. So the image right next to it is actually an image of experimental setup, very similar to what you've been doing with your subs in schools and ROVs that I've been judging for the last day, where we're doing physical experiments to analyse the engineering and science aspects of these machines and improving them. So then that led on to, if you can have a look to the bottom left-hand side, there we go, the bottom left here, that's actually a Sydney 40 yacht. That's one I helped to design in the late 90s, and that was sailed in what's called the Admiral's Cup in the UK. So the experiments that I did, very similar to what you were doing, led on to the design of that vessel there, the Sydney 40 design. We then actually changed that design to be a Sydney 38 design and sold a whole range of them around the world. Very exciting project to be involved with, and leading on to cutting edge engineering and science. After that, I did actually work in the design firm with yacht designers, and what you can see in the top right-hand corner is actually a wind tunnel test. Now, some of you F1 in schools people were doing wind tunnel tests. That's exactly what gets used in industry, and what you can see up there is actually an inverted boat. It's a keel of a yacht with a bulb and some winglets on an old class of boat called the International America's Cup class. We used to spend lots and lots of money and lots of time on. And that went into this design here, so that's actually sailing off Spain. So I was doing those experiments in Texas A&M University, and then using those results in places like Spain and New Zealand. That's actually when I was working for the Oracle America's Cup campaign. From there, I did actually go back to university and worked at university for many years, and I was teaching engineers, people like yourselves, coming through, becoming an engineer. And I did actually also manage to do a range of experiments. What you can see here is me doing some experiments in the Great Sound of Bermuda on the America's Cup class of AC-50 yachts that you can see here for the Artemis, the Swedish design. So you can see how my career has actually taken me all over the world and doing very, very similar things to what you were doing in terms of doing some experiments, relating that to real engineering work, and then eventually onto these amazing boats such as this one here, the Artemis boat here. They're doing about 40 knots, 80 kilometres an hour, sailing around the Great Sound of Bermuda. And what I was doing is actually doing some experiments here on a rib, on a small dinghy, with foils out the side and analysing the flow regimes around those foils as well, relating that to the full-scale boat, which then takes me, of course, to moth sailing. One of my great passions is certainly to keep on with these hydrofoiling boats, and if you have a look at moth sailing online, you'll see a whole range of extremely exciting sailing alternatives. But what this has done, obviously it kept me employed during that time, but has also led on to other engineering and science, and that's where I find myself today. So for example, this top one here, it's another experiment where we're actually looking at things such as cylinders and coning towers, such as what you've been looking at, going through a free surface, how that changes the free surface, how that actually affects the design, and so that's perhaps my picture here of some of those model scale experiments we've been doing as well. And that's where I am today. Working for Defence Science Technology Group, working with 25 research engineers. We're just employing, and we'll just put out some adverts for another 12 research engineers. There's a huge amount of work out there for you, and there'll be a lot more to come as well. I was talking to a company called Navantia just last week. They're wanting to employ 60 engineers in the next 3 years. So certainly there's a great opportunity out there. And what I'm doing right now is I'm working with people like Mark and our team of research engineers. What you can see there is the HMAS Hobart, right next to HMAS Sirius. And of course, these are very large boats and actually going relatively fast in that sort of operation. And they do actually interfere with each other quite substantially. So I'm using those same sorts of skills I was using in the sailing yacht industry and driving it through to this particular scenario of analysing how those boats are going to perform. So just to start wrapping up there and make sure we've got lots of time for discussion later on, my main tip here is to make sure that you do find something that you do love. Like I started out sailing yachts, and that was my passion and still is my passion. And I've been able to integrate that with an engineering degree over many years, over a whole range of different enterprises. I've been over to Europe, I've been to Bermuda. If anybody knows where Bermuda is, it's in the middle of the Atlantic. It's a very, very small island. It's one corner of the Bermuda Triangle. It's an amazing place to go and to work, and now I'm actually able to take those same skill sets and apply them to something, as you can see in front of you right there, HMAS Hobart sailing right alongside HMAS Sirius. There's wonderful careers out there for you, and now is just the start for it, so please do keep going on with the science and engineering education that you're following, and make sure that you do follow your passion. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jonathan, and you can see great opportunities for everyone here if that's the path they want to go down for a career as well. It's great to hear firsthand. Thank you as well for your support during the week and being a part of the judging as well and giving up your time. It's fantastic. Moving on now, very pleased with obviously covering a lot of different industries as well, and our next guest is going to talk a little bit about his role as a design engineer. He actually works for Boeing Phantom Works International, so it's a great pleasure to welcome Costa Dongre, please, to come forward.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Costa Dongre. As mentioned, I work for Boeing Phantom Works International. Everyone knows Boeing is an aircraft company, but it's a much larger company than I think people realise. It's one of the most diverse companies you can think of in terms of the types of engineering that they do, the types of people we have, the various industries that they have some level of involvement in. If I told you today that Boeing invests a lot of money in developing underwater submarines, I don't think a lot of people would know that or even think that that's possible. Boeing does a lot of work in terms of research and collaborating with universities, and we do a lot to try to create an environment where we want to encourage STEM. We know the power of STEM and how amazing it can be and how it can really change the world. And so my role in Works International as a design engineer is to try and continue that mindset, to make sure that everyone after me has that same mindset, to know that, you know what, we're really making a difference. We're really contributing to what aerospace will look like in the next 10, 15, 20 years, long after we've finished our careers and long after we've retired. The other aspect of this is, part of my role before I joined Works was I worked at BR&T, which is the Boeing Research and Technology, the research division of commercial, I guess you could call it. That we developed novel manufacturing processes, novel techniques, new ways of thinking. Again, you always dream as an engineer, you want to be an inventor, you want to create things that no one else has created before. That's where we did that. And so what we've been able to do in the last few years has resulted in the video I'm about to show you.
All stations, stand by, we're ready on your call. 10 seconds. Vampire rolling in 3, 2, 1, now.
So that is the culmination of 3 years of hard work, dedication from hundreds of people across multiple companies, all doing what engineers do. We've all developed requirements, we've all created lists of analysis techniques, we've communicated, we've done all the maths and all of the hard work that all of you have all done as part of your projects, just on a much larger scale. And this is one of the, I wonder if anyone here could probably think of what's the key point in that video where everyone that I worked with went, what do you reckon that point was? When it took off? For half of the team, yes. Significant portion of the team, yep, it took off. One was it rolls, that was the other half. And the other one was when it landed. When it landed and it took off, there was various parts of the team and various parts of the country that all with a sigh of relief and went, you know what? We've done a good job and we're onto something here, and it's only positive. The other amazing thing about this is it's all in Australia. This is the first military jet designed and built in Australia for 50 years from the ground up. From a clean slate, again, liaised with the Air Force several years ago, what capability we want, what we think is something that's positive for the country, creating hundreds of jobs, culminating in this, and I think it's pretty cool. So, it was actually, the teams are based in Melbourne. So for those of you that have been across the West Cape Bridge and have looked over the bridge, you've probably seen, where's the pointer? There we go, this big giant factory here. That is Boeing Aerostructures Australia. Now that site has been developing and manufacturing aircraft parts for 95 years in Melbourne. Not many people know that. It's been here for a very long time, since the Second World War. In various guises, government aircraft factory, etc., creating and building aircraft parts. And it's incredible that it's still going, and by creating aircraft like this, we're keeping that site alive, and we're hoping that you, as future engineers, will get to experience the excitement that we get, that I get, going into work and developing such awesome projects. So, the main things that we do, I guess, this is more Melbourne, but I don't want people to realise, or want people to realise, is that it's not just aerospace engineering. When someone says I work for Boeing, it's not just I did aerospace. Sure, I did aerospace, but a lot of my colleagues didn't. I know mechanical engineers, I know civil engineers, I know electrical engineers, I know chemists, I know material scientists, all of us working together to create something that is as good as it can be for what we're trying to do. And the one thing that's not on here, that Boeing does a lot of, is also software. Software engineering in recent times is a huge, huge field, and it's something that I hope that I'm sure a lot of you are interested in as well. But yeah, I think, when you look at what we do here and on this pie chart, you look at mechatronics manufacturing, it's not just the product. It's about how we build the product. creating a factory that allows us to do things like a well-oiled machine is a huge challenge in itself. You know, doing the research in automation, how to program a robot to make this stuff. You know, we're doing things robotically that 50 years ago, 20 years ago, you'd never dream of doing it robotically. If you think about it in terms of the full scale, you know, at one point, you know, they were making more than 10, 15 of these aircraft a month in final assembly. You think about how big an aircraft is. In some programs, they're making more than 40 in a month. If you imagine how big that is, you're making one full aircraft every day. Just picture that in your mind at the scale of what that means in terms of your components and everything. So that's what's possible in engineering, what's possible if you really put your mind to it. The only thing here that I think I want to articulate is, you know, this is the engineering side of the business. There's so many other things that you've done in your project that are valid and will be with you throughout your engineering journey. Things about how to communicate your ideas, understanding cost, time, schedule, like what's been mentioned by the previous speakers, is extremely important as you move forward. Like they said, you know, if you're developing something and you don't think about cost, don't think about schedule, you know, these are things that you're going to have to. You know, unfortunately, we don't have the infinite money, the infinite time to be able to develop what we want, and we have to create something that is as good as it can be for that period of time. And I know, I'm sure everyone in this room, you've achieved so much to come to the national finals. I think it's been a huge journey for everyone. And the next step is to just do that a little bit more, keep having the same attitude that you've got, have the same drive to want to succeed and excel. And I 100% think you will have a fantastic career in engineering. And I really recommend that you stick with it, because it is 100% worth it. So again, if anyone wants to talk to me afterwards, please come up, say hi. I'm not going to bite, it's all good. But yeah, thank you very much, and just, you know, well done again, well done.
Thanks, Kosta. Absolutely fascinating, and just shows the industry that you guys are being here for and representing today. You are the future, and what is possible here in Australia is already happening here, and who knows what the future may hold and what roles you will play. So thank you. And as Kosta said, we will have some time before our awards presentations, which gets underway at 3 o'clock. So if anyone would love to have a little chat with our guest speakers, please make yourselves known. Go up and have a chat with them, and they'd love to answer any questions that you may have. Time to introduce our next guest speaker now for the next few minutes. She is an engineer and also an industry role model for Connecticut. It's a great pleasure to welcome Chantel Ruggiero.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Chantel Ruggiero, and my engineering journey only started about 6.5 years ago. Seems a long time for me, and maybe for many of you. But I started at the University of Queensland back in Brisbane, where I'm from, and I turned up on my first day of university not knowing much about engineering other than that was what I had signed up to. I'd started a Bachelor of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, and that was all I knew. But since then, it's been a really great ride, and I know so much more about engineering. And also the way that once you start being an engineer, you really do start seeing the world quite differently. You realise that everything that is has in some way been engineered in one way or another. And I hope that you've started to realise that through your projects at the moment. You realise a lot of things take a lot of thought, and that's really what engineering is. So I'm here to talk to you about my journey so far of becoming an engineer, and I hope it'll be helpful to you guys, because I know there are a lot of different ways that you can see an engineer. I think when I started engineering, the first thing that came to mind was civil engineering and building structures and whatnot, but that's not what I do at all. It hasn't been what anybody so far today has talked about, and there's many more different types of engineers than even who will speak today. So I'll get started. Engineers invent and design and manufacture and create a whole bunch of different things. We test so many different projects and machines and systems, and there are a million possibilities to what you can be as an engineer, but this is my story. So my engineering started, as I said, in uni. You guys are probably already ahead of me. It was in a group project. We had to design an autonomous watercraft, and this was it. We were very proud of it, 1 semester of work. And it was crazy at the time that we could do so much with so little. But over time, the projects that I was involved in got a lot more exciting, a lot bigger. There was a lot more to them. The top image is a third-year project that I did. We built a race car that went up to 100 kilometers per hour, and we had to race all the other teams. Very exciting. The bottom picture is an image from my thesis project in my final year, which was a simulation and analysis of a third-stage rocket separation from its hypersonic vehicle that it was attached to originally, which was also very cool. Again, very different. I did a few other things at uni, launched some rockets with our uni rocketry team. Also very different to some of the projects that you do in uni, but all of that came to an end in the year that was 2020. I finally graduated, got my degrees. I did a Bachelor of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering and Physics, graduated from UQ, and then moved down to Melbourne and started my job at Kinetic Australia, which is where I work now. So that was beginning of 2021, so I've only been working as an engineer for the past year, but it has been very exciting, completely different to university, which is great. So much to learn. But basically, I'll give you a little rundown on what I've been doing at work. So I'm still a graduate engineer. I'll officially no longer be a graduate engineer in a month, which is exciting. Within my company, Kinetic, we have a graduate program where we get to rotate through a few roles, try different roles of engineering, I guess. And I've been lucky enough to have 2 really great roles for that. So first, I was contracted out to ATAXPO, which is the Air Training and Aviation Common Systems Program Office, a bit of a mouthful. But there I worked on a few different projects, but the main thing that I worked on at ATAXPO was a lot of data analysis, which may not sound like engineering, but with that I was able to do some heavy analysis on their pilot training program and model how it works and build a system that they could use to do further analysis with, which again may not sound like engineering, but it was a lot of problem solving, which is a skill that you learn doing engineering, and it was really fun to be able to pick and pull at all these different bits of data and build a model to analyze for the job that I was supposed to be doing, which was really cool. But my main time since graduating and working at Kinetic has been, I've been working contracted out to the BOM, the Bureau of Meteorology, which has been really enjoyable. So at the Bureau, I am working with their Standards and Metrology team on what is called an uplift project for their calibration systems. So basically what I do and my small team, what we work on is we are building a new system that basically all the weather sensors out in Australia, they come in to the BOM and they get calibrated. We're building a brand new system for that that's a lot more accurate, can calibrate it for a lot more different temperatures and humidity ranges and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. Here's a picture of me and one of my colleagues that I work with every day, standing outside of the office. What we do we work closely together on 2 of the main calibration systems. One is the relative humidity system, and one is the rainfall system. So with that, a lot of what my job actually involves is a lot of coding. About 50% of what I do is a lot of software development, which is pretty exciting because I actually didn't do too much of that at university, but on the job you learn it. I'm surrounded by some really great people who are able to teach me, and I would consider myself decently good at it now. We're able to design the system, the full user interface and all of that for these calibration systems that we work on. The other 50% of what I do is more so the build and design and the testing of the physical benches, which unfortunately I don't have any photos that I can show you. But if you want to imagine it, it's a lot of wires, a lot of pipes, a lot of expensive equipment that we're putting together to build, to calibrate all of these sensors that are coming into the bomb. So it's really exciting. I learn a lot, and at the moment, a lot of my day-to-day work involves a lot of technical drawings and also procurement work because we're getting in everything now to build the new rain bench, which I was talking about before. So that's what I've been up to this past year since uni. A lot of very different projects. And as I said, engineering is more than one thing. And even in just my past year of work, I've been exposed to 2 very different types of work. And, you know, there's a million more for engineering. I've loved it, and I love doing all the different things. So if engineering is what you enjoy, there will be something out there for you that you will love to do. So I want to finish off giving you one piece of advice that I was given when I started my first internship, I think, in engineering, and it was be a sponge, and quite literally absorb every bit of information you can. My buddy, when I first started at my engineering internship, told me on my first day, get a notebook that you like and write down every single thing that you learn in it. And I did, and that notebook filled up very quickly. But it was such an important thing for me to be able to have, you know, someone who was telling me, yes, learn, you're here to learn, because that was when I was interning, and I mean, you're always learning, but you know, so be a sponge, take as much on as you can, try as many new things as you can, because that's how you figure out what you want to do. As I said, with engineering, there are a million completely different jobs that you can do. So if you take on as much as you can, you'll find where you want to be, and hopefully that's where you end up. So that's my experience of being an engineer so far. I have a long way to go, but hopefully that gives you some insight of what you could be getting into if that's what you so choose. It's a broad field. You can do whatever you want. It's completely up to you. So go and make those decisions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chantel. Thanks for sharing your passion. We wish you well, obviously, now with the industry. How much fun did uni look when you saw those slides early on with some of the great things that were happening, particularly with the rocket as well? So thanks for coming along and sharing that with us today. Next up, I'd like to welcome a couple of special guests from the Australian Navy. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their career. Please make welcome Daniel Robinson and Kunal Gangas.
Cool, hello everyone, how's it going? So yeah, I'm probably one of the more junior engineers in the room, having graduated in 2016, and I've actually put up a couple of photos of my career as it's gone by. So I studied electrical engineering over in Curtin University in Perth, and ended up joining the Navy about halfway through the university sponsorship. So the first 2 photos up there are probably me travelling through Europe, having a fair bit of fun through university. I understood that this was the time when I was going to have the most fun in my career, and then there was going to be a time to get serious right after. So took that time, travelled a fair bit. Travelled didn't end up stopping there, so when I graduated, finished my training, ended up joining my first 2 ships, HMS Stuart and Ballarat, and that's me out with the officers' mess. That photo up there is actually me out with a couple of engineers while we were on our master's course, so fair few academic opportunities that also came with. And the photos at the bottom are what the role of an electrical engineer on board a ship is. Sorry. So the role of an electrical engineer on a ship is pretty much making sure all the weapons and electrical systems are available when a command needs them. And this is an evolved Sea Sparrow missile. And over there, we've got Seawares. Over there is probably what you think of as a gun. What we actually maintain on board ships, the weapons engineers themselves, is a naval gun, except that probably shoots out about 26 kilometres out, so a fair few differences in size. Overall, my career since being on the ship has been worked in project management, worked about 2 years on the Anzac class frigates on the communication systems there, and since then I've now posted into Defence Force recruiting and figured I'd come have a chat about my career, answer a few questions in recruiting, and hopefully inspire a few kids to do engineering. Hand over to you.
All right, good afternoon all. It's been nice to be walking around the last couple of days talking to a few of you and seeing what you're producing. It's been an absolute pleasure to see a lot of your crafts in the water the other day. I'm extremely impressed in what you're able to produce at your age. I'm extremely jealous as well. This is a program that wasn't around when I was at school, so the last 2 times I've come to judging, I've left with a little bit of gleam of envy. But from what you produced both times, it's very, very clear that Australia has a bright future in STEM. Your F1 cars as well as your submarines and ROVs, just amazing. So well done there. So myself, I'm Lieutenant Commander Daniel Robinson. I'm a marine engineer submariner. So I was born and raised in a very small country town in Western Australia called Kalgoorlie. Some of you may have driven past it or through it if you've ever gone from east to west. We are a mining town, and the closest beach was actually 400 k's away. So not the most normal career path that my family thought I would go down. And adding to that, becoming a submariner as well, probably not heard of really within my friends group and my family, as well as just my town to begin with. So I also went to Curtin University initially, did 1 year myself paying for it, and then followed that up with 3 years paid by Defence Force, which is absolutely incredible. So after graduating in 2010 and doing my training, I initially joined a ship, so HMAS Warramunga. You can see in the background there of the submarine at the top. And in the foreground is actually the submarine that I took out as the engineer. Working on a ship was very interesting. To put it lightly, if you want an example of what it's like with technology-wise on a ship, think of an apartment block on water. So everything that you require to live in an apartment block is required to be on a ship or a submarine. So we produce our own electricity, we have our own water systems, sewage systems, air conditioning, communications, we have LAN available on board as well. So you can see there's a lot of systems requirements on board. When you go into a submarine, it's a little bit harder because it's all the same systems, but now they've got to operate underwater. So you have the added danger of the pressure of the water around you, but for me that's quite a thrill. So I only spent a short amount of time on surface vessels. One of the highlights, I think, would have to say, so the bottom right, your left, you can see there's, we went to Timor-Leste and actually helped rebuild a part of an orphanage and clean it up. So it was a great experience just to get in amongst the community, help out some kids, play some games and provide them something a lot better than what they were living in. There's a fair few other port visits on surface. You get a fair few more port visits in the surface world than you do in submarines. But submarines, you get better accommodation when you get alongside. Generally a few stars in hotels. It's very good. But I've been around to Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, India, Hawaii. Great one about Hawaii, you might be lucky enough to stalk and have an attack on a US carrier. You can see in the top left there. So that's a shot taken through a periscope of a Collins-class submarine. So we do get about and do some interesting things. So one of the big parts about being a submariner for myself, so I didn't really know what I was going to do when I finished. I got to the last few years of high school. I knew I was good at math, I was good at physics, and I was a bit of a military buff. So I looked into the Defence Force. My recruiter took me around to a tour of a Anzac class frigate and a Collins class submarine. And the moment I walked on board the submarine, I was hooked. It was claustrophobic to begin with, but the more and more I saw about the systems and got told about what I was actually going to be doing on board, it just really appealed to me. So as an engineer in the Navy, you're really broken up, your career is broken up into probably two parts. The early career, you're an operator, maintainer. So while you've heard a lot of other people talking about how they're involved in the design aspects and the management, we're the ones out there actually operating it. So we learn along with the technicians how to maintain the systems, we learn how to run them, we learn what the specifications of them, how we can operate them and fix them in a worst case scenario if they have a defect and we're in a place where we may not be able to get support from shore services. I had a few laughs with your presentation, some of you talking about your fixes. A pen was one, I think it was, and a few jokes about duct tape. That's actually not too far away from what happens at sea. Duct tape and glue is an engineer's best friend as long as WD-40, so just remember those three things. You can do anything you want as an engineer if you've got duct tape, glue and WD-40. After that, I'm now the second half of that period where I'm moving into the project world. So after finishing up as the engineer of HMAS Deschano, I joined the Future Submarine program, in which I was helping to develop and design the new submarine, or what was going to be the new submarine in the attack class before it was cancelled. So I was using my subject matter expertise as an operator and maintainer to support the development of requirements and the assessment of possible systems to be going on board. After that was cancelled, I moved into the Life of Type Extension program for Collins, which I'm currently in now, and I'm working as the Test and Evaluation Manager. My future at the moment, with the announcement of the nuclear power submarine, is I'm looking to go into nuclear engineering. So there's starting to be opportunities around for current members as well as future members such as yourselves to train, study in nuclear engineering. So you're in a great place, especially if it comes to joining Defence Force or even defence industry, as opportunities to become nuclear engineers and technicians will be coming out very soon. So I would recommend, if you're interested, just keep an eye out for that. So that's really me, my life in a nutshell so far and my training. So hopefully I'll see you out there in the fleet one day or enjoying the period that I once enjoyed. It's been a great time, saw a lot of the world and wouldn't change a minute of it. So thank you, and here for questions as everyone else is at the end.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Kanal. And thanks to obviously everyone that's been here, part of Australian Navy as well during the course of the week. And a big gratitude as well to the Department of Defence, who have been amazing supporters of the F1 in Schools program. And of course, it's been great to have them here as part of the judging as well. Now, exciting part of today is the fact that we've got a couple of our former F1 in Schools participants who are going to have a little bit of a chat with me about what they're up to now and their experience with the F1 in Schools. So it's a great pleasure, firstly, to welcome Kyle Winkler, and Kyle is a world champion as well through the F1 in Schools. So make him welcome. We'll get him to come up onto the stage.
Testing. Does that work?
It's not working.
Testing.
It's all right. One more chance. There we go. Grab a seat. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Kyle, firstly, well, maybe from the start, obviously with our students here today, tell us about your journey through the F1 in Schools program and obviously going to the ultimate and with the Worlds, and then we'll get on to your exciting career as well.
Sure. So I started in F1 in Schools back in 2014, formed a team with two other teammates, Hugh Bowman, who I think he showed his face here yesterday, and Matt Hunter-Scott. And we ended up winning state championships in our first competition. Then we progressed to nationals in 2015, where we also won. And then we ended up coming 5th at the World Finals that year. And that took a lot out of us, so we decided to take a year out and return in 2017, where we ended up coming 2nd at that national finals, which was pretty rough for us. And then with that chip on our shoulder, we sort of came back together, devised a new plan, and moved on to the World Finals in 2017, and we ended up winning and also winning Best Engineered Car Award.
It's quite a journey, isn't it? And the motivation, of course, obviously from finishing 2nd in that year, but going on from the Worlds, before we talk, I guess, about your career, what's your advice? Because you've obviously been persistent with this and motivated throughout the whole process. You see from where you've come from nationals to where you ended up with the Worlds. Students here have just come off the competitions here and judging in various entries. What advice have you got for the young ones here in the room, our future?
You definitely need to keep your eyes forward. You're going to come across hurdles no matter what you pursue. So I think the real key is to go after what you love, and particularly with F1 in Schools, that path is quite fixed throughout the competition. So if you score poorly in a certain area, look at the feedback, which is really important. Understand how you can improve together as a team, put together a plan in writing, and then follow through with it for the next competition. Just keep on pursuing, keep on persisting, and keep on working together and trying to improve.
The importance of a program like this with what we've got here, and we're fortunate enough to have in Australia, how important from a grassroots level starting out has the F1 in Schools program been for you, Kyle?
I mean, F1 in Schools has been everything for me since high school, and also since leaving school. I'll give you a really good example of that. Start of last year, 2021, I started working for an engineering company that builds fuel tankers, and there was a little bit of hesitation about employing me because I was so young at the time. But what I found to be quite ironic was that they would have been better off employing me in 2017, where you guys are right now, because you have the fresher skill sets that are required to do that specific job. So it's what you learn doing F1 Schools. It's the basic processes behind designing maybe a new wheel design, or trying to decide upon a new which bearing to use for your wheels, or which tether guides to use, which combinations, how do you manage your resources, your wind tunnel testing, all of that. It carries through to employment, and especially learning the software, the CAD software, is so invaluable. You barely touch that at university. And so those skills, I really encourage you to keep them up, because they carry forward. It's so important.
You got a pretty cool T-shirt on, Kyle, and I'm not sure if everyone has seen what you got on top, but tell us about your exciting career and what's happening in your life now.
So some of you may be aware, but at the F1 in Schools World Finals, the Williams F1 team have a graduate program, and they use that competition there as their selection pool. So if you're lucky enough to compete, you can put in an application, and 25 students get selected to go into it's a group. It's basically in for further examination. So there's 25 of you, and they break it down into 5 groups of 5, and they give you an on-the-spot engineering challenge. And these are people you've never met before, aside from at the competition, never worked with before. And you have to solve something, quite technical issue, very practical, and they sort of assess your technical capability and your teamwork skills. And from there, they'll choose up to 10 students. And those 10 students, they'll mentor you, take care of you from high school all the way into employment. And the goal of the team there, the goal of the project, is to basically take the best young talent that there is, which is it's you guys right here. And so the competitors sort of can't get in first.
Brilliant. Exciting times ahead. I think we have Hamza here as well, do we? No, I know we have got another guest coming up shortly, but I guess just finally, before we wrap it up, Kyle, with everything that you've gone through from your studies and from school and where you are now, where are you hoping that this career leads to for you, I guess, longer term?
For me, it's definitely Formula One. I mean, that's been the goal since starting with F1 in schools, and it still is the goal for me. So I'd love to be able to move to England, ideally, and start a career in motorsport.
Brilliant. Well, look, you've achieved a lot already for a very young man, and I know this whole F1 in schools program is where it started for you, so congratulations. Thanks for giving up your time today to come in and have a chat with our students. I know with all of our guest speakers, they're going to take away a lot from it, but we congratulate you. Hopefully we'll have Hamza Brown, another world finalist in F1 in schools, as well as being through the program. We'll have some opportunities to have a chat shortly, but thanks for joining us. Please thank Kyle Winkler and wish him well at the Williams F1 Academy. Okay, so we are going to have a break. We're going to ask you shortly to leave the room and head back out. Afternoon tea is going to be served at the cafeteria place. So like you've done with lunch the last few days, if you just line up in an orderly fashion, your afternoon tea will be available there. From 2:45, Deb and the team will be coordinating people to come back in the room for our awards, which will kick off at 3 o'clock. And we are going to try to start bang on 3 o'clock because we have got a lot to get through. You'll see the photo wall outside, so if you want, after the awards, you could go out there in your groups to have your photos taken. But we have got a really tight ship to run, and but we're going to make it fun as well, and plenty of great awards and recognition for everyone that has participated over the last few days. So we'll meet back in here in about half an hour, but please go and have a chat with our guest speakers that you've heard from today. They'd love to share some stories and answer any questions you've got, but we'll see you back soon. Yep. And if you could take all your bags and belongings with you as well, because you won't necessarily be sitting in the same place when we bring you up in for the awards. Thanks.
Don't know if it started yet, but it's actually due the presentations.
amazing few days here at our national finals here in Melbourne, and again we're really grateful to Bosch Australia for during these difficult times that we've had and the delays that we've had with our competition to be here today. So my name is Rick Fontaine. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and be involved for, I think it's my 4th year now with the national finals, which started down in my home city of Launceston down in Tasmania. So it's been an amazing few days, and I think with all of our great sponsors, in particularly the Department of Defence, AWS in Communities, and also the University of New South Wales in Canberra, of course Bosch as we mentioned, and to Michael Myers and the team from REA, absolute massive credit to them, and I think we should acknowledge them and also all of our great partners that have helped make today happen. Thank you. Everyone's had a very busy few days, and it's been a really exciting time. You've all been very well behaved, but you've learnt so much as well. And I know I've said this to a few people with a lot of events, and particularly sporting events that I'm involved with. The thing that I've learnt here, it's not just about the competition, it's about the learnings for each and every one of you, and just seeing your attention to our wonderful guest speakers that we had here a little bit earlier today as well before these presentations. It was great to seeing people take the opportunity to ask them questions as well. A big welcome not only to you guys but to everyone joining us virtually around Australia. We do unfortunately have some teams in other states who are unable to be here, and we're going to give them a big wave as well. Let's all give them a wave because there's people watching us from all over Australia. We'll say a big hello to them, and they've been involved with us throughout this process and throughout this competition, so welcome to all of you as well. Before we kick off with the awards, our team, they've been very busy over the last few days getting plenty of footage, and we thought we might start off and show you a little bit of a review of our national finals that we've seen here for the last few days. Keep an eye out, you might see yourselves. There we go, a bit of a wrap of the last couple of days of action. Plenty of fun for our subs and F1s as well, and plenty of learnings and great fun on the track and in the water. It gives me great pleasure now to welcome a gentleman who we owe a lot to for what we have today and what's happened over the years and the future that we've got. And as you heard from from those earlier who've been through the F1 in Schools program and what they're doing now, I'd like you to please join me in welcoming the Executive Chairman from Re-Engineering Australia Foundation Limited, Dr. Michael Myers, OAM.
Thank you. I normally get a chance to say some things here, but I'm actually going to cut myself short here and do an interview with somebody to highlight what I'm all about. The first thing I'd like to do is thank some people. I know we're going to thank judges specifically in a minute, but firstly Bosch. Coming out of COVID, when we asked Bosch if we could come and have this here, there was just no question. The doors were open, and I think they've been absolutely wonderful in looking after us and putting up with us coming in and out of their security unabated. I think they're wonderful. So I think if we can put our hands together for specifically for that. Secondly, behind the scenes, there's a whole lot of... Now I'm going to be going to love me out there. I've got a team of people out in that back room. That's just woken them up. They've done a great job to try and get all the feeds going, and we'll be testing them in a minute when we try and bring other teams online. So again, I think we should thank them for all of their efforts. They're hidden in the back room, so... And a special thanks to Rick, because anyone who could talk this much, I think he's our version of Crofty. He does a wonderful job and never shuts up, if that's the term. And I think he does an excellent job, Rick, so thank you for all of your efforts. We only did this, REA was only started because we wanted to give you guys, not you guys, but there's been a million of you before as well, an opportunity to learn how you can be good in life and how you can achieve things. So rather than me tell too much of a story, I'd like to invite Hamza up. Hamza, sorry. I keep getting into trouble saying Hamza. I'm going to ask. Let's just turn it on. Is it just on mute or? Purely because it's another example. He wasn't able to get here in time for our presentation, but Hamza did F1 in Schools in 2011. 2011?
Yeah, so I started off in year 8 when it was 2010, I think.
Yeah. And he went through to a world final. He didn't win the world final. I think everyone tries to, but the competition, we did actually win that year, but he was in 4th or 5th?
5th place, yes.
5th place. Yeah. Which some people might think, oh, I didn't come first, but then he came back and he finished high school and then started university. And when he got into secondary university, Airbus came along and pinched him and had him to work in Airbus while he had not finished his engineering degree. So what was that like, Hamza?
Yeah, it was amazing. So it'd always been a dream of mine since I was a small child to work for Airbus, this big aerospace company that makes the planes you go on when you go overseas or interstate. And it was amazing that they picked me up. And honestly, the thing that really convinced them when I went for the interview, so I flew over to the UK just for the interview, and the thing I took with me was my F1 in Schools car and my F1 in Schools portfolio. And I opened it up on one of the pages, which had a lot of colour on it, and I took the car out in front of them and they just went, wow. And I'm pretty sure that was the moment that they wanted to hire me.
Wonderful. So since, so you did a stint at Airbus, then you've come back and you've finished mechanical engineering?
Yep.
At Monash?
Yep.
And now what are you doing?
So now I work for a consultant engineering firm, which is here in Melbourne, called Arup. They're known for their structural engineering, but I work in the rail team. But one of the nice things about consulting engineering is that you get to work on a huge variety of projects. So I've worked on a lot of rail projects, like the level crossing removals, the metro tunnel project, but also I've worked on research projects like looking at autonomous vehicles. I've looked at boats in the Great Barrier Reef and how you can convert them to hydrogen power. So I've done all these amazing things, and I'm only a couple of years out of uni.
Thanks, Hamza. The point I'd like to make from this, you can stay there for a second. When we originally started this, I went to a school and they asked me to help some kids build a mileage marathon car. And if I was an engineer, whether I could help them, and I was pretty cocky and thought, I'm going to blow these kids out of the water. And I walked into the school and on the first Monday night, and these kids rolled out a carbon fibre monocoque car. They had the world record at 3,200 miles a gallon. And I fell off my perch, and that's a term that you might not understand, but I realised that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. And I turned to one of these young kids and said, how did you get to do this? And he just looked at me and said, no one said I couldn't, or we couldn't. In a sense, that's the one thing I want you to take away. And I think Hamza is a great example of no one said he couldn't, and he's gone off and now he's taking on the world. And that's what we want from you guys. So you're my great crash test dummy and a great example of what you guys are capable of doing. And I wish you all the best. Thanks, Hamza. The one thing I'd like to say to you, one other thing I'd like to say to you is that I'm really proud of how you've all handled yourself. You've been exceptional role models for the next generation, for everybody. Everybody I meet who talks to you is absolutely stunned by how you've carried yourself. And that makes me feel really proud and should make you feel proud as well. So good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Hamza, as well, for joining us as well. It's great to have you here with us this afternoon. Before we start presenting awards, we obviously want to recognise everyone that's got to this level and been a participant in our national finals, both in the subs and the F1 in schools. So I'm going to invite Warren Smith as well to come forward, who we'll hear from in a few moments. But our virtual teams that are joining us, they have already received their medallions. So we'll just acknowledge the teams. So from Artemis, Ventus, Poseidon, Propulsion, Kraken, iGen, Peregrine, Prestentia, Adrenaline, Infinite Synergy, CBC, Team Fusion, Neptune, Nemo and Team Krypton. It's not easy when you want to be here, but other forces are not allowing them to be here. We do want to acknowledge it because they've obviously been joining us throughout the week as well. You haven't seen them, they've seen us, they've heard us, and I think we should just give them a round of applause for those that are watching us. So as I call your teams forward, I will invite you to all come together as a group, just to the front of the stage, and you'll have a medallion presented to you all. So firstly, we'll go to our F1s, and we'll invite Synergise from St Francis Xavier College in the ACT. We're going to have a lot of clattering for the rest of the afternoon. Next up, also from the ACT and St Francis Xavier College, is Pratira. And next up, if we can invite Team Innovation from St Francis Xavier College as well in the ACT. And next up from New South Wales, from Cessnock High School, Rapidity Racing. And next up, also from New South Wales, from the Penrith Christian School, is Eve. Loved watching these guys on the track yesterday with the reaction racing, because some people have silencers in their ears with their headphones. This team here, no silencers needed. It was Bob the Builder ringing in the ears, and they did very, very well. Next up from Prairie Wood High School in New South Wales is Vanguard. No Alan today?
Sadly not.
Sadly not. We saw Alan virtually, the still photo, unfortunately having to isolate and not be here, but part of the team. He was recognised all during the week as well. And one to take home. Thanks guys, well done. Next we head to Queensland and the Gold Coast Christian College, Herd Racing. And next up from the Southport School in Queensland, it's Terminal Velocity. And next up, it is team from Lotus from the Mackay Christian College up in Queensland. And our last school from representing Queensland in the F1s is Siphons from the Holy Spirit College. Now we move to a couple of our teams from South Australia, and first up it is Aero Racing from Modbury High School. And next up from Christie's Beach High School in South Australia, it is Dust Storm. And moving on now to our Victorian schools. Firstly, from Brighton Grammar School, it is Livewire. And also for Brighton Grammar School, it is Team Constellation. From Alumni College, well done to Aureus Racing. And on now to our final two schools. Firstly, representing Phoenix P12 Community College here in Victoria, Legion Racing. And finally, to the team from Trinity Grammar School in Kew, Sakudo. So congratulations to all our F1 in schools teams, those here and those virtually joining us as well at home. And we now have some medallions to present to our subs teams that are here with us. Firstly from New South Wales, from Wagga Wagga Christian College, the Kraken. And also from New South Wales, they're from St Philip's Christian College, it's Team Sonar. Next up from the Heights School in South Australia, Orion. And finally, great to have one of the schools from my home state here from Tasmania joining us from the John Calvin School, Hydra. So thank you, congratulations to all of our subs teams on making it through to the Nationals. One more little pose. Very keen. Well done. Warren, just before you sit, oh no, he's just taking a seat, that's okay. We're going to, while he's been very busy handing out the medallions, I do want to introduce the chair of our judges. He's from the University of New South Wales in Canberra, and he's going to say a few words and also make a presentation as well. Please welcome Associate Professor Warren Smith.
Okay, well, good afternoon. I'm not going to take a lot of time. You've heard me speak in different ways over the last few days. But again, in this forum, I just want to say that I certainly count it a privilege to have been involved with REA, and that history for me personally goes back to 2006, which for some of you, maybe you weren't born at that time. But I've certainly seen the activities of REA from many angles, and I've certainly seen many of the teachers and some of the students a number of times before too. But I have to say that it gives me great joy to be involved in these processes, this competition, and see the future of Australia in the hands of people just like you. And I encourage you, as others have today, to really follow your passion as you go forward in your life choices. And clearly one of those significant choices is, well, what career might you follow? And for some of you that career might be more than one, but certainly give strong consideration to whether that might be in the STEM or STEAM space. And we've heard so much about the importance of understanding science and maths and physics and problem solving and managing complex projects. And there's so many challenges out there for us to solve, not only as a local community, but as a nation and as a world. So these challenges are there for you. But to run competitions like this that I hope stimulate interest in those sorts of career choices and being positive citizens, to run these competitions, we first need an organisation that stands them up, and we're all indebted to the work that REA does as a small, tiny organisation out of Sydney, but reaching so many lives. And so to Mike Myers and to Deborah Maloney and the whole team from REA, I think they deserve a huge round of applause. We've already given them one, but they need another one. So if we've got them providing the opportunity, then we of course need teams to come along, and congratulations to the teams that we've just presented medallions to. And thank you to the teachers that have allowed the teams to form in the schools. Thank you to the principals who have supported the teachers, who have led the students here, and to the families and friends that have also provided support in so many ways. And I know what this journey is like. There's a tremendous amount of emotional energy that goes into this, and there's the downs and the ups, and some of the highs are coming as we are going to award these trophies. But if you bring those pieces together, then of course in a competition environment you need a set of judges, and it's really the judges that I now want to turn our attention to thanking. We've got to be able to measure the performance and uphold the rules and the integrity of the competition. And I guess as some of you might look to me as being the bad cop who's sort of been saying you can't do this, you can't do that. But I hope that the encouragement that my judging panel that has served with me through the feedback that you will get will encourage you to take that next step, to come back again next year if you have that opportunity, or as some of our speakers already this afternoon have identified, how you might move as a stepping stone from this experience to the next. While I've worn the label Chair of Judges, it's not all about me. It's been a team effort. And at this event, as I say, there's been a whole swag of judges. Some of them have been working in the virtual space, others have been physically on site here to support our processes. And some of you might think our processes are complicated, and those large documents of competition regs, so tiresome to have to read through and find the loopholes or search for the loopholes, but also meet the fine detail of the requirement. Well, that's what life's all about. You have to uphold those rules, and if you're going to be fighting for a contract to deliver something, you better read the fine print. But while the judges' list of names is too long for me to read out and thank them individually, let's thank them collectively because they've all made my job relatively easy this week. The judges have come as volunteers. They've come from professional organisations, from education, from defence, from industry, from business. And so I'd like, while not all the judges are in the room that have served this week, those that are to stand as representatives of those that have judged. So could all the judges please stand? We have a line up down the front here. I think this is another, oh yes, there's some bashful ones over there. So if we can all just come down and have a quick photo opportunity as judges while we receive a round of applause for your efforts. As the judges come forward, representative of a much larger team, there's probably over 50 people that have been involved. Their job is not necessarily easy, but many have said to me that they're really inspired by what the teams have produced and achieved. And I want to thank them because they've, through the comments, effectively said they'd love to come back and see what you can do next year. So once again, thank you, judges. Really appreciate your time, your effort. So with that thanks, the first award of the afternoon is again my privilege to present, and that's to the best newcomer. And the best newcomer, as judged by a panel, which I'd like to announce, is Vanguard from Prairie Wood High School.
Well done to the team from Vanguard, and thank you, Warren, as well. And again, big reiteration of the gratitude to our judges. Right, we're going to continue now and with the awards, and we're going to start with the F1 in Schools Australia Awards, and this is for development class. And Warren will be making the presentations here. So with development class, our first one is the Grand Prix Race Award. And the winner of this particular award is from Brighton Grammar School here in Victoria, Livewire.
So we're making the presentations from the stage. Hopefully that takes all right. So that we're on.
Now, don't go too far, guys. Not trying to preempt anything here, but our next award was actually for the AGPC Fastest Lap, and you guys have won that as well. Team Livewire from Brighton Grammar School. And we do have the photo wall outside as well, so at the end of the presentations this afternoon, if you want to take some photos from the schools, the teachers want to take some photos, you can do that out there as well in front of our photo wall. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to our next class, and that is the best reaction time in development, and that's been taken out by Lotus from Mackay Christian College.
Fastest finger in the West.
Yeah, Cruz did it. Did a magnificent job, Cruz. Well done.
Well, maybe it's the fastest finger in the West.
That's it. Well done to Team Lotus. Undoubtedly one of the most popular competitions was the knockouts, because we saw plenty of people up there from all schools watching it. It was a great contest, but our champion in development class for knockout was taken out by Livewire from Brighton Grammar. Well done. Congratulations, team. All right, up next, it's Best Engineered in Development class, and that's been taken out. Actually, don't take a seat yet, because it's Livewire. Think you know the drill? Yeah. Well done to Team Livewire once again on taking out Best Engineer. And now for Best Engineering CAD in Development class, and the winners of this category from Penrith Christian School is Eve. Congratulations to Team Eve. We move on now to Best Manufactured, And this category has been taken out by Livewire. Congratulations, team. Well done. We move on next to the best team portfolio in development class, and the winner of this category is Aero Racing from Modbury High Schools in South Australia. Congratulations on winning the best team portfolio, guys. Well done. Next on, it's the AIPM Best Managed Enterprise in Development class, and that has been won also by Aero Racing. So come on back. Well done once again, team. And we move on now to the Visual Connections Best Graphic Design. We like to give them a bit of exercise. We're going to ask them to come back up again. Aero Racing from Modbury High Schools in South Australia won this one as well.
Who was the graphic designer?
Excellent. Well done, Aero Racing, winning those last three categories. Next up, we move on to marketing, and the best team in development class for this year is Livewire from Brighton Grammar School here in Victoria.
Who led the marketing? Okay, that's yours. Thank you.
Well done to you, Jack. Well done to your team. Team Livewire winning that award for best team in marketing. Now, just in the little nooks and crannies and the corners of the building here at Bosch, we saw lots of teams practicing for their ahead of their verbal presentations, and it's come down to the winner. We do have that, so congratulations to the best team verbal presentation in development class from the ACT. It's Synergise from St Francis Xavier College. Congratulations, Synergise, on winning the Best Verbal Presentation Award here. Next up, it's the award for Outstanding Industry Collaboration in Development class, and this year that has been taken out by Lotus from Mackay Christian College up in Queensland. Yes, thank you for the flowers that we have. They're still doing well. Well done to the team from Mackay Christian College here, Team Lotus. one thing I know everyone has really enjoyed and been around for the last few days, and that's been the amazing trade displays that we've seen here on show in 2022. And it was a really tough one for the judges, I'm sure, but the best trade display in development class this year has been taken out by Livewire. The Livewire from the Brighton Grammar School here in Victoria. Well done to Livewire, and another award. And just a couple of awards left to go now in the development class. So the next one is for innovation, and that has been taken out by Eve from the Penrith Christian College up in New South Wales. Well done. Congratulations, girls. Well done on winning the Innovation Award. And our final award in the development class is the Chair of Judges Recognition of Achievement, and this has been taken out from Canberra High School in the ACT, Artemis. So congratulations to Team Artemis. Not sure if we've got them joining us virtually. We might be able to see them popping up on the screen. I'm not sure, but if you're tuning in and you can hear us, congratulations. Thank you for being with us all week virtually. But I don't think we've got them online, but we'll give them another round of applause because I'm sure they're probably watching as well. Thanks also to Warren. We'll let you have a well-earned rest, Warren. You've done a lot of work. Thank you. Next up, we're going to move on to F1 in Schools Still, the awards in professional class, and they've been a great partner of the F1 in Schools program, and it's a great pleasure to introduce and welcome to assist with the presentations from AWS in Communities, Ian Green. We'll invite to come forward now. Please make him welcome. Thanks, Ian, and thanks for the support as well. That's fantastic. So into professional class now we move, and our first one is for Grand Prix Race Awards, and this has been taken out by Constellation from Brighton Grammar School. Nice little trophy to boot. Congratulations, team. From Constellation Brighton Grammar School here in Victoria. Well done. So our next award is for the AGPC Fastest Lap, and you better empty your hands, team, because that's also been taken out by Constellation from Brighton Grammar School. We'll get you right back up. Well done once again, team. You can take a seat now. Congratulations. And the red hot reaction times, we saw some cracking times in the professional class, and the best one is the team from Vanguard at Prairie Wood High School in New South Wales. Well done, Team Vanguard from Prairie Wood High School up in New South Wales. and the hotly contested knockout races as well in professional class. This was taken out this year by Constellation from Brighton Grammar School, our winners in that section. Well done once again to the team from Constellation. Turning to engineering, and the award for our best engineered in professional class went to Charles Campbell College and Team Propulsion in South Australia. So big round of applause. There they are. Hey guys. Welcome. Great to see you guys. We had you in the background all week, but well done on the award. Congratulations, great effort, and sorry that you couldn't be here to be part of it today as well. Don't go too far away, guys. We'll keep you up because the next one is for Best Engineering CAD in Professional Class, and that is also Propulsion from Charles Campbell College. So there you go. A few awards coming your way. Well done once again. Best Manufactured now is our next category in professional class, and this has been won. It's going to Brighton Grammar School, Team Constellation. Well done, guys. Congratulations, taking out Best Manufactured category. Our Best Team Portfolio is next in professional class, and this is going to the ACT, to Team Innovation from St Francis Xavier College. Well done, team. Congratulations. Next, it's the AIPM Best Managed Enterprise in Professional Class. That's our next category, and that has been taken out by Innovation from St Francis Xavier College as well. Back we come. Well done. Well done, Team Innovation, on taking out the Best Managed Enterprise Award. We move on to graphic design next. The Visual Connections Best Graphic Design Award in Professional Class is heading to Charles Campbell College in South Australia. Team Propulsion are our winners. There they are, once again. Going well there. The iPad's fired up as well. Congratulations. That's a great award for you. Well done. And thank you for participating in today as well. Best Team Marketing in Professional Class is Constellation is the winner from Brighton Grammar School in Victoria. Fantastic. Well done, guys. Well-deserved award there. We move on now to the Best Team in Verbal Presentation, and the winner is Innovation from St Francis Xavier College in the ACT. Keep those smiles going. Well done. Congratulations to you. Best team verbal presentation. We move on now to the outstanding industry collaboration in professional class. That is Team Innovation from St Francis Xavier College. Did you guys drive down or fly down? You drove? That's good, because I'm not sure how you go with your luggage on the way home otherwise, so have a look at that. Car will be chock-a-block full. Well done, taking out the Industry Collaboration Award, Team Innovation. We move on now to the Best Trade Display. As I said, outstanding displays all round that we had here all week. And professional class, the winner of that is Constellation from Brighton Grammar School. Well done. Congratulations. Taking out the Best Trade Display Award. Couple to go. Next one in professional class is the Innovation Award, and that has been taken out by the team from Propulsion as well there over at Charles Campbell College in South Australia. I think we may have lost the teacher. Here he comes. He's back. Well done. Congratulations to you and your team on taking out the Innovation Award. And now it is the Chair of Judges Recognition of Achievement in Professional Class. And this year we congratulate Pratira from St Francis Xavier in the ACT. Well done, team. Team from Pratira at St Francis Xavier. Thank you very much for your assistance as well as the great support of our F1 in schools and our subs through AWS in communities. Great stuff as well. All right, we're going to move on now, and I'm going to invite Dr. Michael Myers, OAM Executive Chairman of Re-Engineering Australia, to come forward for the next announcements, please.
I get to present a couple of awards purely I get to choose. A few years ago we started handing out awards for fellows, in other words, teachers who have done wonderful jobs and participated in and helping us along the way. And I think there's a list that comes up in a second that will show you some of the fellows that have won awards in the past. And there's alumni there. Let me get the next slide. I can see. Of those teachers, a lot of them have gone on to become teachers of World Championships teams, and some have gone on to become teachers of multiple World Championship teams. And I have to believe that we do produce the best students and the best teachers in the world, and that's my belief, and I don't think any country's ever topped that mark. But this year I want to induct, if that's the term, 4 new teachers into our Fellows program, if that's the term. So we pop the next slide. The first one is Sam Nikolsky from Wyndham Tech School, Graham Stock from St Francis Xavier College, David Bonzo from St Philip's Christian College, Newcastle campus, and Nathan Richards from Mackay Christian. So if you guys could all come up, I think you're all in the room, except one. They're really examples of teachers who go above and beyond, and I'm sure your students would understand just how much effort that they do put into you. And I thank them for all of their the efforts that they do and the inspiration they give to everybody. Thanks, guys. The next awards, when we started, and we have an election on tomorrow, but we've been involved with lots of politicians over the years, and one of them who helped us right from the start was a guy named John Button. And he's passed away now, but he was famous for increasing the value or our focus on manufacturing in this country. And he was a wonderful man to deal with. And I used to have to go to Melbourne 2 or 3 times a year and have a cup of coffee with me. And he was one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. So we created a John Button Memorial Award for an outstanding contribution to STEM education in Australia. And it doesn't have to go to somebody in this room or a teacher as such. And this year I'm presenting it to a person in Western Australia who's, from when we first introduced subs in schools, he was an employee at the Submarine Corporation over there. And he's gone out of his way to help us and support us in a remote location. And it's Rod Brown, who's now working for Alumni Solutions in Western Australia. Oh, we actually got him online. I wasn't sure we'd do that, but Rod, congratulations. I did see you there for a second. Rod's been absolutely fantastic and continued to support everything that we've done such a long way away without a great deal of input or drive. He's just driven by his own desire, which is in a sense what John Button was driven by as well. So thank you, Rod. I just want to, this is the John Button an award, and it's really about the people behind the people who make things happen. And I got my guys to manufacture this a few years ago, and it seems to be getting heavier every year as we add more and more things around it, but it's well worthy of the people. Congratulations and thanks very much for all your support. And the last one's my Founders Award, and this is for someone that you've probably never heard of or never seen, but you may have been influenced by his life. Is a person named Barry Groom. He helped me right when we started REA to get it off the ground and make it work. He's a quiet person, stays in the background. His expertise is marketing. You probably don't know that he's responsible for the Fred Hollows Foundation and Clean Up Australia and a whole set of things, and many, including that REA. And I know he's not here, and we can't talk to him live, but I'll certainly hand him the trophy when we get him back. But he's certainly been an inspiration to me and a cornerstone of getting REA up and going. So for Barry, I know you're in Sydney, congratulations and thanks for all the effort you put in to helping us.
Thank you, Michael. We're now going to move on to our Subs in Schools Australia Awards at this juncture, and I'm going to invite to come forward to assist with the presentation of the awards. It's terrific to have with us here Commodore Michael Houghton. Would you please welcome him to come to the stage? Commodore, I'm not sure if you'd like to maybe say a few words, if you like. Yep.
Well, it's wonderful to be here, and rather than giving thanks to everybody that's made this possible, students, can I ask you to put your hands together for everybody, your teachers and all of the REA team and all of the judges who've made this possible today. So I obviously have a very vested interest in submarines. And there is a great future in submarines, and Australia is embarking on a wonderful program to introduce nuclear-powered submarines into Australia. What that means for us in Australia is that we need hundreds of more engineers and more people working in defence industry to make the submarines a reality, to design them, to manufacture them, to look after them, to operate them. We need lots more people to do this. And what I've seen over this last week is the skills that are in this room, not only in the submarine area, the subs in schools, but also in the F1 in schools, where you are developing and demonstrating your ability to design, manufacture, to work in a team, to problem solve, to manage a budget, and to deliver a product in a time frame that meets strict specifications. All of these skills are absolutely essential in whichever industry you choose to go in. But I would hope that you would think, with your experience that you've gained here, that you would consider defence industry and defence more broadly. I've been really impressed with what you've all achieved. It's just, and I think regardless of who wins what awards here today, just being here is a great achievement. I've seen how much effort you've put into your submarines in particular, into your portfolios, and it's a real testament to you and to the hard work that you've put in. So I would like to say that whatever you have learned in this process and continue to learn will stand you in good stead for the rest of your life, whichever career choice you make. But I would ask you to have a look at considering submarines as a career choice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks very much for being part of the week as well. I know it's been valuable for everyone here in the room, and pleased to say I'm going to be handing out some awards now. And firstly, it is the Best Team Portfolio Award, and that goes to Team Sonar from St Philip's Christian College in New South Wales. This is the Newcastle campus of St Philip's Christian College. Congratulations. Well done to Team Sonar, taking out the Best Team Portfolio. Our next award, nice certificate and trophy for the Best Managed Enterprise. And the overall award goes to Wagga Wagga Christian College, the Kraken in New South Wales. Well done, team. Nice big smiles as well. Congratulations on winning the award for the Best Managed Enterprise. Our next one is the Best Team in Marketing, and the overall award there goes to Prestantia from Launceston College in Tasmania. Not sure if... There they are. They're there at school. Well done, guys. Well done to my home city. I may need to take it back for them, will I?
Yes, you will.
I'll pack that into my bags tomorrow. I have a good excuse if I don't take my wife and children home sufficient presents tomorrow. So well done to the team there as well. And Best Trade Display is the next one. I might have a bit more packing to do because that's also going to Prestantia from Launceston College in Tasmania.
Congratulations.
Well done, team. Joining us there from Launceston College. Our Best Verbal Presentation, that is going to the team from Brighton Secondary School, and it is Kraken. Congratulations to you. And over in South Australia looking very excited there. Great to have you with us online, guys. Congratulations on the award. Next up is the award for the Best Industry Collaboration, and this has been taken out this year by Kraken from Brighton Secondary School in South Australia. So we'll get them back up on the screen.
Here you go, guys. Welcome. Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Awards heading your way soon. We move on now to Best Innovation, and the overall award for that this year goes to Prestantia in Launceston College in Tasmania. Congratulations on winning your third award.
You will be taking a lot.
And I am. And there is your award, team. Well done. Next up, we move to the Chair of Judges, and it is the Recognition of Achievement Award, and this has been taken out by Team Krypton from Newton Moore Senior High School over in Western Australia. Congratulations to Team Krypton. I don't think we've got them on the line, but there is their award. Well done, team, well deserved. Now, our next category, this is the Development Class ROV, and it is for the Best Sea Trial. That has been won by the team from Neptune, Newton Moore Senior High School in Western Australia. Congratulations to our other WA team. They are unable to be with us, unfortunately, but that is their award. Congratulations, getting the Best Sea Trial in Development Class. On to our Best Engineered ROV in Development Class, and victory goes to Neptune as well, from Newton Moore Senior High School in Western Australia. There they are. They are here. Well done. Hello, guys. Getting a little bit closer. We can see you all and recognise you. There we go. You can hear us. Fantastic. Well done. Congratulations on the award. All right, moving on now to our next category, and that is the Best Engineered CAD Development Class ROV, and that is also going to Neptune at Newton Moore Senior High School in Western Australia. Yep, that's you guys. Terrific that we can have so many of our teams who can't be here joining us online today. That's excellent. Well done. All right, we now move forward to our Best Manufactured CAD in Development Class, and that is Neptune from Newton Moore Senior High School as well in Western Australia. Well done on your swag of awards there, team. Congratulations to you. Okay, we're now going to move on to the professional class for, firstly, the Best Sea Trial. And the winner of this award this year is the Kraken from Wagga Wagga Christian College in New South Wales. Well done to the Kraken. Congratulations on taking out the Best Sea Trial Award. Continuing on now with our professional class, the ROV class for Best Engineered ROV is Poseidon from Parramatta Marist High School up in New South Wales. They are one of our virtual teams joining us this week, and not with us just at the moment, but congratulations to Poseidon from New South Wales on winning that award. Now to Best Manufactured ROV in Professional Class, and the winner of that category for this year is the Kraken from Wagga Wagga Christian College. Well done, team. Congratulations. All right, we move on now to spatial design and the best virtual 3D model. And the winner of this category is Kraken from Brighton Secondary School in South Australia. We saw you briefly just a moment ago. Here you are again. Welcome. Well, I'm taking out another award as well. Now, in the submarine class, we have the award next for the best sea trial. And the winner of this award is Hydra from John Calvin School in Tasmania. Well done, team. Well done to the team from Hydra from John Calvin School. Next up in the submarine class, it is the award for the best engineered submarine, and the winner of this is Team Sonar from St Philip's Christian College, Newcastle campus in New South Wales. Thank you, team. Well done. Congratulations on the award for Best Engineered Submarine. Fantastic. Also in the submarine class, Best Engineering CAD is our next award, and that also goes to Team Sonar from St Philip's Christian College, Newcastle campus. We'll get them back up again. Congratulations once again to Team Sonar. And our final award in this submarine class is for the best manufactured submarine. And the winner for this year is Hydra from John Calvin School in Tasmania. Well done, team. Congratulations to you. And also, please, once more, can you thank Commodore Michael Houghton for joining us as well, and for all his great support during the course of this week. So we're going to move on now to another section, and this is the Bosch Awards. Unfortunately, Bosch are unable to be here with us this afternoon, so I'm going to ask Associate Professor Warren Smith to come out, handle these awards. But I know it's been mentioned already by Michael, but we are so appreciative of Bosch Australia to have us here in Victoria through what's been very tough times for them, for everybody, but it's amazing that we can be here, and we're very grateful to them. So I think they might be even able to hear us, some of the staff out there. Let's give them a round of applause to Bosch Australia. And we thank them, of course, for supporting us with the following awards as well. And the first one is the Bosch Award for Excellence for the Best Team Branding. And the winner is Orion from the Heights School in South Australia. Congratulations, team. Well done. Team Orion from South Australia. One thing we're always very proud of and what we enjoy to see here is the sportsmanship, and I know it's also been mentioned, the sportsmanship and the camaraderie between everyone has been absolutely first class throughout the course of this week. And Bosch have got an award for excellence, and this is the Sportsmanship Award, and we congratulate the winner from St Francis Xavier Pratira from the ACT. Well done to Team Pretira. Great award there in recognition for your sportsmanship throughout the course of the week. We always like enthusiasm, and we've seen plenty of enthusiasm this week as well. And Bosch have got the next award that they've supported, and that is the Award for Excellence of Enthusiasm. And they were very enthusiastic throughout the course of the last few days. Amazingly done, very well. Congratulations to Vanguard from Prairie Wood High School in New South Wales.
We knew you were here.
Yep. And we mustn't forget Alan as well, who can't be here. So well done to Alan and well done to the rest of the team from Vanguard, winning the Bosch Award for Excellence in Enthusiasm. Well done. Thank you also, Warren, for assisting, and thanks again to Bosch Australia for supporting us with those awards. Okay, we're getting towards the final bit. We're on the run home, and next up it is the Subs in Schools Australia Development Class ROV. We've got the awards there for our champions, and we're very pleased to welcome on stage now to assist us with the presentations John O'Callaghan, who's here representing Minister Mark McCullough, the Minister for Defence here in Victoria. Could you please welcome John O'Callaghan, and thank you very much for coming here today and supporting us as well. So this now is the Development Class ROV, and very pleased to announce that the national champions for Development Class ROV is Neptune from Newton Moore Senior High School in Western Australia. How about a bit more excitement, guys? Come on, hands up, let's see your team. That's it, well done, congratulations. So well done to you guys on taking out that award, National Champions Development Class for ROV, to Neptune over in Western Australia. Congratulations. All right, we move on now to the Subs in Schools Australia Professional Class ROV, and we have a top three, and in third place it is Poseidon from Parramatta Marist High School in New South Wales, one of our virtual place teams. There they are up on the screen, their name and their school. And their award as well. Congratulations. Our runner-up in Professional Class ROV is the team from Hampton Senior High School in Western Australia, NEMO. We'll call them Nemo. Congratulations to you guys, our runners-up. And they're joining us as well. Well done. Congratulations. And now we move on to our national champions in Professional Class ROV. The winner is the Kraken from Wagga Wagga Christian College in New South Wales. Now, with winning a national title, with that comes the opportunity to say a few words. Would one of the team... Oh, yes, come forward, please. Love to hear from you.
Well, thank you so much to all the REA staff, all the judges, all the teachers and all the teams for giving us this opportunity to be here. Without each and every one of you, you wouldn't have the atmosphere or the chance to be able to see what we've done over really the past 12 months, brought and shown to you all, and doing all the activities have been amazing. So thank you.
Very well said. Congratulations, well said. We now move on to our Subs in Schools Australia Spatial Design Awards, and our national champions for 2022 Spatial Design from Brighton Secondary School in South Australia. It is Kraken. Congratulations to you guys, well done. Very, very happy indeed. The award will be heading over to you guys very, very shortly. And And that leads us now into the Subs in Schools Australia Submarine Class Awards. And again, we have a top 3 in here. In third place, submarine class, congratulations to the team from Orion from the Heights School in South Australia. Well done. Congratulations on your third placing overall in submarine class to Orion. Now moving on to second place in submarine class, and congratulations. The award goes to Prestantia from Launceston College in Tasmania. Well done, team, over there. High fives happening. Well done on the award. And finally to our national champions in submarine class for 2022. A big congratulations goes to Team Sonar from St Philip's Christian College in New South Wales. Very good. Would one of you like to say a few words?
I just want to say thank you to all the REE staff and judges that made this possible, and a special thanks to Mr. David Bonzo, who, without all this wouldn't be possible. It's been an incredible experience for all of us over the past 16 months, starting February last year, and so a special thanks to REA staff and Mr. Bonzo.
Well done. Congratulations, team. Well done. So that completes our Subs in Schools presentation. And once again, can we thank John O'Callaghan, representing Mark McAuliffe, Minister for Defence in Victoria. Thank you for being here and thank you for your support. All right, we're nearly there. We're moving on now to the final awards in our F1 in Schools Australia in development class firstly. And again, I'd like to this time welcome to the stage to help us. They're a fantastic supporter of REA and our programs here in F1 in Schools. Please welcome Rachel Sabash from the Department of Defence. Thanks for your support, and obviously thank you. I've seen you out here for a few days admiring everything that's going on, but we really congratulate you and thank you for being a part of this event. All right, so we're going to start off with development class for our overall placings in the F1 in Schools. And third place goes to Eve from Penrith Christian School in New South Wales. Congratulations, girls. Well done on a great achievement, finishing third overall. Moving on to our runner-up in development class, the F1 in Schools National Final, and that has been taken out by Aero Racing from Modbury High School in South Australia. Well done to the team from Aero Racing. Great achievement. Well done. Congratulations once again. So, it just leaves us with one more award in development class in the F1 in Schools Australia for this year, and that is to announce our national champions. A big congratulations to Livewire from Brighton Grammar School in Victoria. Well done, team. I'll invite you now to come forward and have a chat to us.
Shaking from the excitement, but thank you so much to the IEA staff and everyone who's involved in the F1 Schools program. Without you, we wouldn't be standing on stage, and we're extremely grateful. We're also very grateful to everyone who competed in our class, along with all the competitors in subs in schools and F1 schools. It's been fantastic meeting with you all, and a special thanks to our school who's supported us along every step of this journey, especially Mr. Watson, who saw us through this entire journey through his 8 years at Brighton Grammar F1. Thank you so much, everyone.
Congratulations. Gee, the future's in good hands. We've got some wonderful talent at our speakers as well. Amazing job. Well done. Congratulations again to Livewire, our national champions in development class. So we move now to our last batch of awards, and that is professional class for the F1 in Schools Australia. And we do start with third place. A big congratulations to the team from Innovation, St Francis Xavier College in the ACT. Well done, team. Great achievement. Congratulations. Now, taking out second place in professional class, and this award has been taken out a team from South Australia. It is Propulsion from Charles Campbell College. Well done, team. Rachel's holding up your award, and that's heading your way. That's a fantastic achievement. Again, sorry that you can't be here, but well done, and we're very happy for you. Team from Propulsion. All right, now, our very final award of 2022, F1 in Schools Australia. And this is going to take a little bit of work because, as you can see, it's quite delicate. It is a big award, and that is to announce our national champions for this year in the F1 in Schools Australia. It's been a fantastic competition, very tight competition, and we're very proud to announce our professional class national champions is Team Constellation from Brighton Grammar School. Congratulations, Steve. You've got one more job to do, is try and lift that trophy.
That's a heavy one.
It's probably a good idea you're in Victoria, because that would struggle on the plane, wouldn't it? Well done. You can pop it down now if you like. Well done on the award, and guys, if you'd like to say a few words.
I'm going to rush in before my teammates have the chance to take it off of me. But first of all, there's one person that we definitely need to thank, and I think I speak on behalf of Livewire and my teammates beside me. Mr. Watson, could you please stand up? Mr. Jamie Watson has devoted every second of his time to Brighton Grammar Formula 1 in schools since his optimism brought our school to the competition. And we owe it all to him. And he's never given up on us, and he's never given up on the program, and we've won it, Mr. Watson. We've brought it home. My teammates beside me have put in countless hours of work, countless hours of effort, and countless hours of optimism into hoping that we win this award over the years since 2018 when we started, and I can't believe we've done it. So I'd like to congratulate Livewire. I'd like to congratulate every other team. Thank you, Rick. You've been amazing. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Deb and Brett, Thank you, Corey. Thanks to everybody, and geez, it's been hard, but that's the end of 2021-2022 season, and thank you all. So, good job to my team.
Congratulations once again to our national champions for 2021-22. It is Team Constellation from Brighton Grammar School. Be very careful going down those steps. But I will say again, of course, and it has been mentioned, like everyone that is here, it is a bit of a cliche, but you are all here for a reason. And you need to remember where Australia actually sits on a global scale in the F1 in Schools program, and that is up near the pinnacle. So the future is in great hands, so congratulations to all of you. I know all the main players have been thanked numerous times during the last few days, and not only today, but we're very grateful to everyone for their support. Rachel, thank you as well to the Department of Defence and to all of our sponsors and partners, but well done to all of you. Thank you for being a part of it. We're glad we got to do it face-to-face this year. For our teams who couldn't be here, those that have been part of it all throughout the course of the week, we thank you as well, because it was a great achievement from all of you, and hopefully at our next national finals we'll be able to have all our champions here together wherever. We're all to see the talent and the level and the bar that's being raised every year. So safe travels for all of you. Enjoy each other's company, and we'll celebrate for a little while out there, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks once again to absolutely everyone for being a part of it.